You know the saying, give someone a fish, they'll eat for a day, but if you teach someone to fish, they'll eat for the rest of their lives. Well, the newly opened Seed Library is hoping to do just that. So we have Corinne, Layla, and Ben here with a little bit more information. So the Easthampton Seed Library. Tell us a little bit about it because it's new.
Well, the Seed Library is actually part of a larger umbrella organization called Easthampton, which is a local group in Easthampton that's dedicated to food security for the community and networking within the community to promote things like gardening, seed saving.
So the Seed Library helps to do just that. I know you're having a talk tonight. Let's talk about the opening event. Tell us a little bit about it.
We're going to offer a tour, an orientation of the new Seed Library, and then we'll also have a talk by Gabby Hollander. She runs a small Northampton-based seed company called Backyard Seeds, and she'll be giving some tutorials on how to save seeds and some more information for people just getting started out.
Well, Corey, let's talk about that. Say that there are people who are just starting out. What's that process like? How can they utilize the Seed Library for their benefit?
So the Seed Library is really like a book library. It's hosted in the book library. We have a section where there are a bunch of seeds. They're all categorized in our special category system, which we'll go over a little bit at the orientation tonight. It's mostly by seed family. And you check out a seed that you're interested in. So if you're interested in growing brandywine tomatoes, you would open the drawer where the tomatoes live, which is the nightshade family. Take out your brandywine tomatoes. Then you would keep a few of those seeds, check them out in our checkout binder. So it actually looks a lot like a, I don't know what they're called, but the slips
card
that you
catalog.
Well, right, it's like what you used to put in the back, in the old school libraries, in the back of the card, like due date kind of thing.
I remember,
Yeah, and so then you save those, or you plant those seeds, grow the tomato out, save seeds, and then put them back in the library in the fall, so that way the next spring there's more seeds for everybody to plant.
And a lot of people don't know about saving seeds, so we have a demonstration. Most fruits and vegetables that you grow, you can actually save seeds from. So why don't we start on your end? How does one save seeds from a tomato plant?
Well, first I'd like to start by saying I learned how to do this from this book, Seed to Seed by Suzanne Ashworth. If you're not familiar with saving seeds, it's a great reference. She writes that tomatoes are pretty easy to save because overall they don't cross-pollinate, meaning you don't have to do much special in the garden before you try to save them. They do require an extra processing step, though.
Okay.
Each seed is encased with a special coating. It actually prevents the seeds from germinating inside the tomato. So you want to get that off before you can save the seed. The best way to do that is by replicating the natural rotting process. So you're going to start with your tomato. The good thing about this is you can eat the tomato after.
Perfect.
But just squeeze out the seeds and the pulp. This is a great activity for everyone.
I was going to say, if kids, families, this is perfect. And it seems relatively foolproof, so
Pretty
I
foolproof.
Can do it. Good.
So I put the pulp and the seeds in there. You're going to add a little water, like I did with this one, and then leave it open to the air. I put cheesecloth on here. Let it sit somewhere safe where it's not going to spill. Over the next 3 or 4 days, you're going to see a coating of white or gray mold form on top. It's not going to smell great.
Be forewarned.
That mold is removing the coating from the seed. The last step, and the one I won't demonstrate here, is you'll dump them into anything like a regular kitchen strainer or colander, give them a really good rinse, and set them to dry in something they won't stick to. I hear a coffee filter works really well.
Perfect. And how long does that process take, all in all?
It depends on the conditions. Is it humid? Is it dry out? You want to just make sure they're really, really dry before you put them away. The entire process probably takes a week.
Now, we're a little bit low on time, so let's move on. Something like a squash or a pumpkin, how does one save the seeds on that?
Yeah, this is winter squash. This is pretty easy. You just harvest the squash when you normally would when it's ready to eat, and then you can cut it open and just pull out these seeds. The seeds are all mature, and you spread those out on a tray, let them dry overnight, and then you can pick off the pulp, and that's all you need to do.
And corn, relatively easy once it grows, right?
Yeah, so corn is an interesting one because it's actually needs a lot of requirements in order to get the seeds to be viable and true to type. But once you have done all of those in the garden, this is definitely a more difficult one. It's very easy to harvest the seeds. So you let this corn dry on the plant itself till it's totally dry. All of these are, very hard. They're like the popcorn kernels that you would get, that kind of hard. And then there's different techniques. You can kind of twist your hands around and get the seeds to come off.
And if people have more questions, that's just a reason that they should come on out tonight.
Right, yes.
And it's going to be tonight from 6 to 8 in Easthampton. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but it's a pleasure having you with us. Thanks so much for stopping by today.